I haven't asked you about your visual art. I'm keeping in mind, Kiss in many ways is visual art,
Hmm?
but you've always had a talent for drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your painting.
Painting is something that came late in my life. I started painting about 18 years ago, maybe, or 17 years ago. And it was at a tumultuous time in my life, and a very dear friend of mine said to me, "You should paint." And I was like taken aback. I said, "I should paint?" And they said, "Yeah." Something about it resonated with me, like a lot of other things in my life. And I went out and bought canvases and paints and brushes and had no idea what I was going to do. And initially, I saw it as purging, almost stream of consciousness, using color, just letting stuff out. And it was almost a diary that I could look at. This is what I'm feeling today. And upon completing a work, I had that sigh of relief. Yeah, that's out. And over time, it turned into something very different. I never painted. Once again, it goes back to, I never did it with the idea of anyone seeing my work. I painted for myself. And the first piece that I hung in the house is still hanging over there. And it's still not signed, because I felt if somebody saw it and saw my signature on it, they might like it more or like it less. But people would come over and say, "Who did that?" And I go, "Me." And that led to putting a few more pieces up that I liked. And at some point, a gallery owner said, "Why don't we do a show?" And that, I was quizzical and ambivalent, and I did it. And lo and behold, people acquired pieces.
Well, and the gallery owner says it's one thing for someone with your name to draw a crowd. It's another thing to have them buy the paintings, and they've been buying the paintings.
It's, at last count, we were over $10 million in sales. So I have to adjust my thinking, because if credibility is built on being a starving artist, I'll never have credibility. That being said, it's so gratifying for me. Painting is just another aspect of my life that at this point I can't imagine not having. I try to paint 5 days a week. I may drop my children off at school and then go paint, and it's always an adventure. I may smile a lot, but it's because life is grand, and on its worst day, it's a miracle.
As one myself who's married to a painter, I know better than to ask a painter, describe your art for us. But taking that into account, when someone says, well, oh, what kind of art do you do? How do you answer them?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is color. Somebody said that I was fearless with color, and I go, what's there to be afraid of? It's I see life as so vibrant, and I see color as a affirmation of that. So I paint with a lot of color, and the fact that I don't know color relationships frees me up to do things that perhaps others wouldn't do. I get to paint icons, like a Marilyn or a Jimi Hendrix, fish tanks on plexiglass that are 2 inches thick, painted on both sides to give it dimension, flower arrangements doing the same thing. It never ends. Every day there are new possibilities. Every day, it's always interesting. Someone said to me, "How's your day going?" I go, "I woke up." As long as I'm looking down at the grass instead of up at it, good day.
Well, I want to make this day good, but I want you to show me some of your art.
Sure.
When you were painting this, what were you thinking?
Well, I had this fascination for quite a while, and still do, with spheres. I found spheres very meditative, and also there's a sense of, it's a continuum. Circles never end, and maybe that's how I feel about life, that things go full circle. So I found myself just taking a string, putting it in the center, and doing the outline. And I used this substance called modeling paste to give texture. And then I just worked and worked at the canvas. I just went at it with my body. Van Gogh once said something brilliant in a letter to his brother. He said, "I'm no longer content to be the painter, I want to be the paint." And that was, I so related to the idea that you just want to put yourself into your work. So this was either my first or second painting. And I thought, gee, that would look really great in this room. And I hung it up and was too self-conscious to sign it. And lo and behold, as a reminder, it's still unsigned, but it represents everything that came after it.
We know who you are as a musician, but as a person, within yourself, who are you?
I'm a person who has an unquenchable thirst for creative outlets. I define myself by the way I find to express myself, whether it's theater, whether it's art, whether it's music. That's part of how I find who I am. But more important than anything, including music, is I'm a father and I'm a husband. And I truly believe that our purpose on earth, and it only became clear to me after I started to have children, our purpose here is to leave this earth a better place than when we came in. And the way we do that is by raising children who make the world better also. And you do that by leading by example. So I am caught up in making sure that my children can look up to me, not because I'm famous, but because I do what I think is right. And I sleep well knowing that I set what I think is a really good example for my children, and I honor my wife. That's where it all starts. When I was younger, I didn't realize that that's the core of a great life. When you're young, you are the epicenter. You're the center of the universe. But as you grow, hopefully, particularly when you have children, if you're doing it the way I think is right, you move over and go, you're the center. Let me go with you. And I think there's a cathartic aspect to parenthood because it gives you the chance to have someone else live the life you may not have. And that's healing for you. That's healing for me.